So, guys, I have a question for you. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! 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 Rohit Raju, do you, buddy? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 16, or as some people might call it, EWP 2000. This is the episode where there actually was not one singles match, one-on-one contest, that entire WrestleMania card, tag team matches, triple threats, fatal four-ways. And at the very end, the most important thing, right up top there, it says that April 2nd, 2000, at the Anaheim Arrowhead Pond, Triple H became the first ever heel in WrestleMania history to defend the WWF Championship in the main event. That's my guy. My name is Karl. Like I said, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast, episode 16. With us, as always, our senior NXT correspondent who killed it with TakeOver this week, John Smith. How you doing, John?
Good, man. Thatcher let me down, but my most exciting part of the weekend was purchasing my Brody Lee t-shirt.
And we will get into Brody Lee. John DeConnie, the first ever PWE champion, the living legend. How are things today, my friend?
Good. Always glad to be along for the ride, Al.
Always glad to have you, John. And let me tell you what, guys, we had a jam-packed show. There was a lot that went on in the past week. We're going to try to hit on many things as we possibly can, including, as I just showed the picture, Rohit Raju shocked the world at Emergence. Jeff Hardy shocked the world on SmackDown. Brody Lee, as John Smith just said, shocked the world on Saturday Night Dynamite. Plus, we had two new champions crowned at TakeOver, and we had two former champions regain their titles at SummerSlam. 8 new champions crowned overall, where there was a title change on every single show that we cover here. We're going to main event the show by making our picks for Emergence Night 2, which is too big for one night, as well as Payback, WWE going back-to-back weekends with pay-per-views. I don't remember that ever happening before. And all that is brought to you by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. Thanks. And as I said, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty issue over the weekend. ProWrestlingPick'em.com, my new daily game, my new daily Pick'em game has now been launched. See if you can remember the result from pay-per-views from the past. I believe yesterday was day 1. It was Canadian Stampede of all the shows. I smiled when that show popped up in the randomizer. In Your House, Canadian Stampede from July 1997, where Bret Hart and his Hart Foundation went into Calgary and beat Steve Austin, Ahmed Johnson, Goldust, and the Legion of Doom, if I remember correctly. I believe those are the 5 that they fought against. But we're going to you're going to be seeing graphics, again, all show long for this week's upcoming matches, created by our friends at MinuteToBellTime.com, in which Ryan Joy will join us later. We actually, with everything that's been going on, we have a huge weekend in New Japan. We're going to discuss that. But we're going to curtain jerk the show. The guy's initials are RR.
The big dog.
No, it's not the big dog, Rohit Raju. We're going to hold off Rohit till later. But John Smith, you got it. The big dog, Roman Reigns. He came back. He came home. Your thoughts, John Smith, on Roman Reigns' return, wreck everything and leave at SummerSlam?
You know what? Somehow nobody saw that coming. And, how is that possible when he's McMahon's boy? It just totally went over our heads somehow. I mean, I didn't see one prediction online that Roman Reigns would show up. Didn't hear his name at all. I was very surprised to see it. I don't like that he took the steam out of Bray Wyatt's win, but, him celebrating is not what we're there for. Him winning was what we're there for. So I'm happy about Roman coming back, and I just hope that he doesn't, go ahead and squash the champ right away.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little later on the show, as there is a triple threat match that will be officially signed on Friday on SmackDown. for Payback. But John DeConnie, if Roman Reigns was going to come back, these are the two guys he hates most, not named
Absolutely.
Brock Lesnar in WWE. His rivalries with Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman are both very well documented.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch them all just beat the hell out of each other this coming weekend. And I would imagine, in some form, it may not be all three at once, but, then they'll pair off and probably do it again down the line a couple times. And, you got to appreciate a guy in Roman who has his merch made up before he even makes the moment that the merch is based off of. And he got to debut his new choppers. I mean, what a weekend.
Do you think that's what should my shirt be? Well, you're going to wreck everything you leave, so. So again, we will get into Roman Reigns a little bit later. There's a lot of stuff on SummerSlam that we will get into later as they leak into Backlash or Raw or not leak into SmackDown. That would be impossible. You can't really go backwards in time. But Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship. John DeConnie, both guys missed their finishers, and then McIntyre he got the roll-up win here. I did see some comments in the WWE universe. They didn't want to see that ending.
Yeah, it was very weird to see neither guy hit their finisher and finish a WWE title match with a backslide, but clearly this isn't over. So I guess we get, there's plenty of time for multiple Claymores and RKOs in the coming weeks. And
Yes, John Smith, did you have a problem with this? And like I said, I know it leaked into Raw. We will get into it because somebody came to Drew McIntyre's aid. Your guy, one of your guys from your shows. Now he's called up, but we'll get into Keith Lee in a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't mind that he won, that McIntyre won. I just don't like the finish, but I guess like John DeConnie said, it's just going to keep going. But I would have liked to see at the biggest show of the year, second biggest show of the year, a clean finish for a championship match, like a decisive finish for the championship matches.
Yeah, and Drew McIntyre came out on Raw last night. I guess there was the hidden message with the finish to this. He out wrestled the guy that's been walking around for the past month saying he's the greatest wrestler of all time because he won the greatest wrestling match of all time. I don't remember him being in the AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan match, so I don't know in the Intercontinental Tournament final. But yeah, so I guess we'll go forward with them again. We will mention their names in a little bit later on down the line for our payback segment. Dominic Mysterio did okay, John Smith.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to hold the match. I wasn't like, oh man, look how green this guy is. I wasn't overly impressed with him either, but he can stay. He can stay. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, he's young. That was his first ever match on a very big stage, but it's the stage he's seen before, obviously, as we documented on Saturday. A curb stomp, it was 2 curb stomps, right? I don't know if it was 1 or 2 in front of his mother and his handcuffed father. That had to pull as a parent. I have stepkids, and that got me a little bit. But John DeConnie, how do you feel how all this ended?
You know what? I said right here in my notes. The first thing I said was, "All right, Dominic didn't embarrass himself." But I think even more evident the next night in the tag team match was that he clearly needs a little bit of work. He needs some time, maybe off TV, go down to NXT, work some dark matches, whatever, get his timing down. Because there are moments where it looks like he's moving in slow motion, anticipating his positioning and whatnot. But look, I'm going to give the guy credit. He hit a late Russian leg sweep off the second turnbuckle through a table. I'm going to nod my cap for that. So, yeah,
I can't imagine him doing any better with his age, with his experience. I thought Seth did a great job, bringing Ray's wife into it, bringing Angie into it. I thought that was a nice little added touch. funny meme I saw on the internet when they were walking into the building. It's like they were taking Dominic for his first day of school. I thought that was pretty funny. Overall, it was good to go. Seth Rollins got the win. Like I said, that leaked over into Monday night onto Raw. And I said, we will get into that as well. Like I said, we have a lot to cover. We're going to fast forward some stuff right now. Bayley defeated Asuka to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship when Sasha kind of took a bullet for her, got hit with the hip attack, and then Bayley got the roll-up win. But then later on that night, when the options were reversed, Bayley decides to move out of the way. And then Asuka defeats Sasha Banks to become the Raw Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Champion again. I believe this is her second time now, right? The other time was her first. That was the one that she was missing. So we will get into Bayley and Sasha in our payback segment. The Street Profits also retained the Raw Tag Team Championship. Montez Ford, you're not fooling anybody. That was Twisted Bliss. Get your own moves. Don't try to. No. Not going to get that one past me. Mandy Rose defeated Sonya Deville. My little ploy, which I thought was a ploy from Mr. McMahon and Sonya, did not work out. Sonya is now forced to leave WWE. She is a Jersey girl. She is one of my Jersey girls. Sonya, best of luck with everything. Get through this, and we want to see you back in the ring as soon as possible. And this is a loser leaves WWE. John Smith, you're going to hit the nail on the head Saturday. That says nothing about NXT. She will shine down there. That would be a really fun thing to see. So do your thing, Sonya. We will be waiting anxiously for your return. And then Apollo Crews once again dropped to the kickoff show, defeated MVP, squeaky clean, to retain MVP's United States Championship. He's got a match coming up at Payback, so we will get into that a little bit deeper later on in the show. John Smith, you've been saying 3 words habitually since Saturday night.
Fall and pray.
Go for it, buddy.
I mean, there's really not much to say. It went exactly how I thought it would for a few months now, or ever since Keith Lee won the title. But the match itself, when I watched it after watching the other 4 matches that were so action-packed and so well done, and this one kind of slowed down the pace, I kind of wasn't into it. I thought maybe it was, a lackluster match, but I actually watched it again. And, Cross working on that arm the whole time, it was a very psychological match. I maybe shouldn't have had the beer bottle in my hand so much when I was watching it the first time. But I digress.
I was right there with you. It's okay. We had fun. That's what we do during Takeover.
Yeah. So that's why I watched it again, and I really think it was a solid match. Nothing I'm gonna watch again in the future, but the way it should have went, I believe, because I think Keith Lee belongs elsewhere.
Yeah, John DeConnie. Now, Karrion Kross hit that side suplex. It has a name for it. I couldn't remember what it was. He hit it on Lee early in the match. Lee kicked out. I remember them making a big deal out of it, but then he hit it off the middle turnbuckle. Keith Lee was draped over the top rope, and that's what put Keith Lee away. You're not going to make Keith Lee give up, so the cross jacket, I don't believe, was an option right now. So what do you think of the finish? What do you think of our new champion? And I said he kind of got dinged up a little bit.
Yeah, he certainly did. Yeah, the Doomsday Saito was the finisher there. And, it was real close. I thought for a second there we were going to have, Keith Lee. He never tapped, but he went to sleep. But he hulked up a little bit, got that hand shaking, got back up off the canvas just in time to get another Doomsday Saito. And it was a good, it was exactly what you expected from, you expect a little bit more from Keith Lee because he is such a freak when it comes to his athleticism. But it's exactly what you expected out of a big Haas match. Just 2 big fellas beating the hell out of each other and, entertaining as could be. And I agree with John Smith. I went back and watched it again just so I can try and figure out where the shoulder injury happened. And I was more impressed with it the second time than I was the first time.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, from what I did see, I guess he landed wrong after getting a clothesline from Keith Lee. He went for it right away. It was right at the end of the match, which I think is good. He didn't really have to suffer too much with it. But two things pointing out with that, I thought it was he got Lee pretty hard with a running clothesline. He bounced off Warrior and I thought maybe that's where he got it from, but it wasn't. But the thing is, I remember Finn Balor did this too. When Finn Balor separated his shoulder, he held the belt up with the banged up shoulder when he won the Universal title. Karrion Kross did it too. It took him a second. He's like, boom, and he got the belt up with his right hand. So that was a good sign. I know Finn Balor's out for a while. I don't know. I believe, hopefully Karrion Kross, maybe we'll find out a medical update tomorrow night. I know they had an exclusive after TakeOver just showing him in the trainer's room. And somebody was, I don't know if it was Kayla or somebody was giving a report of what was going on. And he did have a separated shoulder.
Romeoclavicular.
Yeah, and you can kind of see his collarbone sticking out. The North American Championship ladder match, John Smith. They said we watched it together, and there was about 7 different times we thought that match was over. Kudos to the production team on the camera angles. That was good. That was fun.
Absolutely. I really thought Grimes was winning it after he got thrown out, and we were like, oh, Grimes is done. He's definitely not back in it after that. And then he comes back in. I was like, oh, Grimes is definitely winning it, and he doesn't even win it then. I'm happy Priest won because of my pick, but I wanted, in my heart for Cameron Grimes to win. But either way, it works. Cameron Grimes is going straight to the moon, baby. Either way, so.
Yeah, Grimes is going to shine. Bronson Reed, I hope, shines too, because John the Connie, can you please display your action figure of the tribute that Bronson Reed displayed? There it is, from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Things from Asbury Park, baby. Yeah. I absolutely love that outfit on Bronson Reed. And I absolutely love the fact that he found a way to hit that spot with Candice LeRae on his back without breaking her jaw. Wow, there were a couple of high spots in this match that, whoo! It all started with that pile up in the corner where I was worried that, not so much that I love Priest, but I had him, points were on the line. Yeah. And when he went to do that avalanche splash in the corner there, and I could see Priest's head was in the wrong spot, and he was about to get his bell rung by that ladder. So, please don't let him be, walking around in a fog for the rest of the match. But yeah, there were a couple of spots like that. The Gargano cartwheel power bomb of Grimes onto the bridge ladder. They just did a fantastic job.
That was one of the better. That was one of the most hard-hitting car crash-ish ladder match. That was a lot of fun. Happy everyone made it out safe. Like I said, specifically Candice LeRae, between her jaw and the back of it just looks like her head got sandwiched between Bronson Reed and the mat, and that was, thank God she's okay. And like I said, to the winner go the spoils. A picture of Damian Priest in a hot tub with 2 women in the championship belt with Triple H pointing at him. That was their celebration photo. Well done, Damian Priest. Well done. And just like Dom Mysterio, Pat McAfee made his professional wrestling debut. John Smith, and just like Dom Mysterio, Pat McAfee did not disappoint at all. I think he probably shined even more than Dominic did.
Absolutely. Debut of the weekend. I was expecting him to do well because I listened to him a lot, and I could tell that he's probably been doing this, on the down low for a little while and training and whatnot, but I didn't expect him to be as good as he was and as athletic as he was when he Brock Lesnar's himself to the top rope just with one box jump. That was incredible. You see these moonsaults, guys landing on their feet all the time. You don't see that all the time.
No, he's pretty athletic for a punter.
I was just going to say, you hear this all the time, especially if you're a big fantasy guy. You'll hear people, say punters are people too, and apparently punters are athletes too, because that definitely impressed me. Yeah, I knew there was going to be a moment. There was going to be something that he probably practiced for the last month and a half to nail one big spot. But then, he climbed to the top and did a tumbling senton to the outside. Now he had 12 people to catch him, so that was a nice, easy landing. But
Yeah.
no, he made it look good. And then, like you said, he had the Brock hop to the top rope. I mean, I was totally impressed. He stuck the landing on the moonsault. Good stuff.
Yeah, so now I believe the NFL, this is off the top of my head here, 0-3. You got the Refrigerator Perry and all his guys in the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal. That was lost to Andre. No, Lawrence Taylor won, so 1-2.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor beat Bam Bam. And now Pat McAfee tried to get the NFL the series lead. Couldn't get it done. Adam Cole with the Panama Sunrise for the win. And then 2 other matches we'll just briefly go over. Io Shirai defended the NXT Women's title, defeated Dakota Kai. Great match. Great takeover style match. Dakota, again, proved she belonged. Wish you could get into this more detailed. They were jumping Io after the match. Rhea Ripley came in, had a stare down with Raquel Gonzalez. That was pretty cool. And then Finn Balor defeated Timothy Thatcher to extend his record to now 12 wins in TakeOver history. He's now 12-1, the all-time leader. He got the coup de grace, followed by the 1916 for the win on Thatcher. So this is where that lands us in NXT in our standings. Like I said, John Smith killed it. John DeConnie killed it. Ryan did okay. Like I said, John Smith, he got the extra points. He got Keith Lee correct when John DeConnie only got the Finn Balor. It was a 4-point swing right there. I stumbled. John Smith's on my tails now. And this Wednesday night, the only thing that they promoted, and it's a honey, and that's Daddy's Coming Home. Daddy is coming home. We are excited. Tommaso Ciampa will be on Wednesday night on NXT. We've missed him. He hasn't been doing anything. I believe it was a Karrion Kross attack after their takeover match that had sidelined him, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember the story. It's been a couple months, though. It's been at least 3 months. And I kind of was hoping that they would circle back around. If Kross did win the title, circle back around to Tommaso Ciampa. This past Friday on SmackDown, the show started with the debut of Thunderdome, Vince McMahon, Thunderdome, in the ring. The Fiend came out, and John Smith, I know you mentioned it on Saturday, I think that was pretty cool. If you're going to start with one entrance to, show off the Thunderdome, the Fiend is a good way to do it. I believe it was the first time the Fiend's music has been played on any type of Raw, SmackDown, or anything non-pay-per-view. It's normally, he just kind of just shows up when the lights are out. But then Retribution, then Braun Strowman came out. Then Retribution shows up. Bray waves bye-bye. They jump Braun Strowman. SmackDown locker room comes out. And during all this melee, AJ Styles kicks Jeff Hardy in the back of the leg. And kept Jeff Hardy in the trainer's room, John DeConnie, up until their match.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move. And, it did wind up paying off in the end because that super-duper steel brace that, Steve Austin wrestled with almost his entire career, but apparently was deadly on this evening.
Yeah, he got AJ Styles went for the Styles Clash. A mule kick? Can we call it that? He just kind of swung his leg back. John Smith, followed by the Twist of Fate, followed by a Swanton, and we have a new champion. And for the first time, I don't know how long this. It was 20 years since his first title. You know that 20 years since he won his first title. I forget who he beat for that one.
Yeah, I don't remember who he beat for that one.
Yeah, it wasn't Triple H.
Oh, it was Triple H. Yes, it was. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the ending of this match, but it was you could kind of see it coming after the beginning of the show. When they do something like that, it always goes the other way, and I was very disappointed with the ending, but it was a very good match.
I was just hoping, I'm like, is this the delay that we're finally going to get the Intercontinental Championship on pay-per-view? And that's what I mean. All of a sudden, he's like, he gets the knee breaks, kind of half hopping around. I'm like, crap, maybe not. Oh, well, I guess one can wish, right? Also in that night, another match that did not make SummerSlam was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, where Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura defended against the Lucha House Party, Cesaro reversed the Hurricane Rana for a win. Kalisto got a little upset. He started pushing and shoving with Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik at the end. There's some distension in the Lusa House Party within 1 week of Kalisto's return. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with that going forward.
Yeah, I'd like to see a heel turn. I'd like to care about them.
Let's see what we got. And then last night on Raw, put our Raw on them. Boom. There we go. We're going to go back to Dom and Rey Mysterio and how the show ended. They had a match with Rollins and Murphy. And I kind of want to bring this up because now this is looking kind of suspicious. And I'm kind of hoping that this might be the direction where Retribution is going. First of all, John DeConnie, you're kind of smiling at there. There was a lot less of them on Monday night.
Yeah. There was a little rumble about Miz after SmackDown, hanging out to watch the Morrison match and not helping everybody else in the background. But then seeing Rollins's S-eaten grin at the top of the ramp at the end of the broadcast immediately put that into my head. And maybe he's got a little something to do with this.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the ringleader, but the word I want to use is yet. Because the one thing that, the thing is, if Seth Rollins is going to do this Jesus Christ gimmick, this Monday Night Messiah, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ had 12 disciples. Rollins right now only has one. So I'm kind of thinking if he can get John Smith, just a group of people that doesn't look like they have a leader or one's just not announced yet.
I hate that idea. I didn't think about that idea. I hate that idea. I don't want to see that idea. The more Seth Rollins is not good. There's a reason they had to turn him heel. But
Okay, we're not wrong. Seth I was just hoping he was just laughing the fact that both Mysterios got beat up pretty bad. Going back to SummerSlam, did Retribution, did they not work on Sundays? I mean, they kind of made a joke that AJ Styles doesn't work on Sundays. Retribution had the day off? Like, where were they?
It was very nice of them to give the WWE, their platform.
yeah.
Like, why would you want to make hay on the second biggest day of the calendar year?
Going fast forward, we'll stop on one of these. Montez Ford defeated Angel Garza. We'll fast forward through that because he hit another Twisted Bliss for the victory. Ivar and the Demi Burnett situation. Again, every week she's getting lured in by these turkey legs, which is all fine and good. But then it hit me last night, and God, if you remember the name, I think I remember who Demi Burnett reminds me of. Anyone remember Ryan Shamrock?
Yes.
I don't know. Why did she remind me of something? And all of a sudden, oh my God, that could be Ryan Shamrock. I know it's not Ryan Shamrock, but that was very similar situation where she's just there, getting hit on by every guy in sight and going with 5 different directions. 1 week she's with Angelo, 1 week she's with Angel, and then she's getting lured in with turkey legs and I don't know. Just observation. Ryan Shamrock returns. Ryan Shamrock 2020, right? Bianca Belair and the Riot Squad defeated Zelina Vega and the Iconics. Bianca Belair hit the KOD on Zelina, and again Zelina. It was a very quick match. It wasn't like a long drawn out like their one-on-one contest was. But again, Zelina and Bianca just have a nice little chemistry going, where Zelina just really makes Bianca look tough. She looks great, sells everything. Everything just looks absolutely perfect when those two wrestle. We'll stop here. We won't fast forward this one. I think we're doing pretty good on time right now. So we'll stop and talk about a fatal 4-way for the 24/7 championship. As this was, like I said, there was a title change on every show. This was Raw's. Shelton Benjamin couldn't win this match, John DeConnie?
If I remember correctly, wasn't he outside during the pinfall? And he somehow wound up outside tangling with maybe Cedric Benjamin when R-Truth got rolled up by Tozawa after
there was
playing his
involved.
ninja power.
He can't be. Okay, Cedric's one thing. Truth, okay. Like you hear this out. Like, oh my god, John Smith. Anything you want to comment on this? I mean, it's fun. I love the four of these guys. Don't get me wrong, but like Shelton's got to win one of these matches, right?
Yeah, I would like to see Shelton away from this unless he's going to make it a legit title because it's too much of a comic act still at the moment. I don't like them making a match in the ring with the 24/7 championship anyway. I mean, is it Falls Count Anywhere when they do that? I don't think so, right?
I think the rules are suspended when between from bell to bell.
Right, so it's not even like a hardcore match or anything where as it would be in the backstage. I don't know. It's just I'd like to keep it backstage. I'd like to have them just like chasing each other around, but more legit.
Okay. Everything else that happened on Raw will spill over into our payback segment, which will main event this show, and presented by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe, and play our new daily Pick'em game. Thank you for the thumbs up, John DeConnie. I saw it. Play our new daily game. I won't give away what show it was today, but I do believe it was 1997 again. I'll give that. Ryan Joy just chimed in that he wants Brock Lesnar to be 24/7 champ. That belt would be retired real quick if I ain't going after him. That'd be funny as hell though.
Everybody just bouncing off of him while he walks down the street.
It would be quite comical. John Smith.
What?
We're gonna lead you right now. We're gonna go into Saturday Night Dynamite. I know that everything that happened in this match lasted longer than 3 minutes and 9 seconds, but for those 3 minutes and 9 seconds, I believe it was 3:09 or 3:09 or 3:03 that what Ryan told us the match was. First, let's just say 2020 right now. Is that the best 3 minutes of 2020 for you right now? Because that was just a complete and utter domination by Brody Lee over Cody.
Yeah, that was, I mean, not quite John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but it was as close to a beatdown as you could get to that, and I loved every second of it. Like I said before, I bought my Brody Lee shirt, and I'm going to wear it next time I have it. And I can't wait because I hate Cody Rhodes, and I'm so happy he doesn't have the title. And maybe he won't be on TV this week. We can hope.
Dynamite this week is actually on Thursday night, again getting bounced for the NBA playoffs. John DeConnie, and then everything afterwards. Brody didn't stop there. He was yelling at Shivani, which I'm all for. I don't have a problem with that. But Jumping Cody was on a stretcher, and then, like I said, the one part that I smug, the entire Dark Order was out there. I'm like, oh, come on, where's Anna? All right, Colt Cabana. They're playing this whole thing where Anna Jay is not an official member, and Colt Cabana's on the – Colt never showed up, but Anna Jay did, John DeConnie.
Yeah, Arn took his lumps, Cody took his lumps, and Brandy tried to throw herself on him to save him. And then Mr. Brody Lee just basically opened his arms and told Anna Jay, have at it. And she choked Brandy out. And I could almost feel the reverberations from the smile coming from John Smith's mouth from where I was.
Like I said, we watched that. I didn't watch that. I knew after the fact that he'd won, but I saw the notification on my phone. For whatever reason, I got this weird Sportskeeda. It's something I forget. Just my phone just has automatic updates with some stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be fun. And then I saw Ryan Joy's time at 3 minutes and 8 seconds. It was 3:08. I need to see this match. And it was everything. That was beautiful. That was perfect. We have our new TNT champion. He is the second ever TNT champion in this company's short history. You think open challenge is here? I mean, I feel sorry for the poor bastards that are going to try to take that title from him.
No way.
So the night started off with FTR versus the Private Party. John Smith, Tully Blanchard at ringside wearing an FTR jacket.
Yeah, very surprising. Especially after what he said last week, or what was that, 2 weeks ago? It was last week. That was a great match, proper outcome, and, that's that, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got the Goodnight Express is the new one. I have to keep on looking at it. It's not called the Shadow Machine anymore. They got the Goodnight Express on one of the guys from Private Party. I can't remember which one. But then after the match, they were backstage, John the Connie. Here comes the Hangman because there's a gauntlet coming up.
Indeed. Yeah. Hangman wanted to know what was up. What was up with the charades the previous week, to which FTR wrote it off to, we needed to know. We just needed to know if you were with us, man. We had to fake it. Wherever this storyline is going, there's obviously something there, and it's going to be real entertaining when they get to that match that I'm sure we all hope is going to end up at All Out.
Yeah, so this is the match that's set up for Thursday night on Dynamite. It is a gauntlet match where the winners will face Kenny Omega and Adam Page at All Out. But as you can see at minutes to bell time, how they have this graphic lined up, it's actually in order on the entrance because they go in reverse order from their rankings. So you got the Nightmare family, you got Dustin and QT Marshall. They will start in the ring with the Young Bucks because they are the third and fourth ranked tag teams. The Bucks are third, and then the Nightmares are 4. Then the winner of that gets the number 2 contenders in Best Friends, and then the winners of that will get FTR. We're currently sitting at 6-0, and in the number 1 contender spot, in the number 1 ranked spot on in the AEW Tag Team division. So, John Smith, is there any reason why FTR shouldn't win this match? They got a new manager. They already got backstage. They just want to prove who's the best with the Hangman. Kenny Omega nowhere to be found again. He's fighting with the Bucks. We'll get to him in a second.
The only thing I could think of is if the Bucks screw them over somehow, and then they start a program between them two instead of having FTR go for the titles. I don't see that happening, though. I see FTR winning, so I mean that's the only thing I could otherwise see happening.
I can see the Bucks ups. I think the Bucks will beat Dustin and QT. I'll go with the Bucks over the Best Friends as well, and have it come down to Bucks and FTR, John DeConnie.
Yeah. I was thinking kind of along the same lines as John Smith there. That if it's not FTR, it might be the Bucks, whether they do it through mischievous means or not. But then I would then see it being maybe FTR gets involved, costs the Bucks the titles, Omega and Hangman then drop them to somebody else down the line, and we get that Bucks FTR feud going. But
yeah, we've been all clamoring for FTR versus the Bucks in an actual feud. I guess it was the first time FTR showed up. It was against the Bucks. And I believe the entire wrestling world was like, "Oh my God, yes, please!" And a lot of us, I shouldn't actually say a lot of us. Me, oh my God, I hope FTR kills him. I don't hate the Bucks. I like the Bucks. I think the Bucks are great, but I hate the whole the whole world loving them. I just want to knock them down a couple pegs. Everyone's just gonna ease off the Bucks here for a sec. That's just me being spiteful, though.
Let's see some technicians take them apart.
Exactly, and it's 2 different styles, right? Johnson, the technicians and the high flyers. How often do high flyers win that match? Let's say Hart Foundation versus the Rockers off the top of my head. I don't remember the Rockers ever beating the Hart Foundation.
Exactly.
Well, I guess actually it would be the Rockers and the Brainbusters would be the appropriate analogy from old school wrestling. I believe they did have a feud. I think they did have a fight at some type of. I think they were on opposite teams of the Survivor Series. I want to say, okay, gun to my head, Survivor Series 89. I want to say it was Warrior, Neidhart, and the Rockers versus Andre Haku and the Brainbusters.
No, because that was the Hart Foundation Brainbusters in 89. Oh, no, never mind. That was SummerSlam. You might be right.
It was Survivor Series. But I think one member of the Brain, some of them was hurt. I don't think Arn wrestled this. Yeah, there was something messed up. I just did that on the pick-em. I could put the 89 Survivor Series in. Anyway, but the aforementioned Natural Nightmares, they teamed up with the Jurassic Express. They defeated the Booker and the Blade and the Lucha Bros. Some dissension during the match between Pentagon and the Blade, John DeConnie. That led to their downfall.
Certainly did, but there was someone there to clean up the pieces, wasn't there? gentleman with a brandy new AEW contract, Eddie Kingston, came out, reminded them all who they are. And actually, point of note, when he was pumping up both Phoenix and Pentagon, he made reference to Rey Mysterio, apparently, and that got edited out. You know, I guess they were trying to push forward the idea that Rey is right now in contract talks with Vince, and Vince doesn't want to give him a raise, and Vince just keeps going, but COVID, and Ray wants a new contract with a raise, so I guess the AEW was trying to at least there was the thought there to light that fire, at least get that started, but then apparently they cut it all out.
John, I'm sorry, pal. I got to do it to you.
Go ahead. I can see it coming.
That doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean don't ever stop coming up with this. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, John Smith, Eddie Kingston was trying to bring all these guys back together again. And then after they're all bringing him for a hug, turns, smiles, winks at the camera at the fourth wall, completely shattering the fourth wall.
I think Eddie Kingston's my new favorite in AEW. I had no idea who he was a month ago, and now he's all of a sudden my favorite. Every time he's got the mic, and I just want to hear what he has to say, and now I want to see him lead another faction in AEW. There's enough factions as it is, but I guess there's room for one more when you already got like 5 or 6. So,
the thing is with AEW, if you go on the ProWrestlingPick'em.com, I actually have the rosters. AEW's roster has quantity. I mean, it has a lot of quality, which is fine, but it's got a serious number. It's way more than Raw or SmackDown or NXT. They got guys, and they're still adding guys. Like I said, they just signed Ricky Starks, and they just signed Kingston, and I get that was the way back in the Attitude Era. That was Vince Russo's way of getting everybody to TV. Vince Russo was a big faction guy. And if you're paying these guys, they got to be on TV, right? It only makes sense. Like I didn't think Russo was that far off with that theory. So, yeah, but we'll see what goes. Eddie Kingston can lead a faction. He was the leader of the LAX at Impact, and he's a great talker. And he believes in the La Familia and the Brotherhood. And I said that was the big thing. So he's out for himself a lot, but if you're with him, he'll treat you right. So we'll see what goes with that. In other matches, we're going to have to fast forward. Like I said, we have a jam-packed show tonight. We got a bunch of picks still to come up with. The Elite, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they defeated the Dark Orders 3, 4, and 5. That's a lot easier to remember than Reynolds, Angels, and Silver. And they're getting their own trunks, too. You see the Reynolds with the 3 instead of the E, and then Silver had like a Roman numeral 4 in it. Not that I'm looking at guys' butts or anything. Kenny Omega hit 5 with the one-winged Angel for the win. Irony, impeccable right there, how Alan Angels got pinned with the one-winged Angel. Then Kenny Omega, again, showing that New Japan D-Hole Bull Club, Kenny Omega, wanted to powerbomb 5 through an upside-down placed chair. Kenny Omega, he's getting there. He's going to be full-fledged Bullet Club Kenny Omega very, very soon, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I hope so.
Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy, I hate to fast-forward this because Mimosa Mayhem just sounds incredible. I want to talk about it, but we have all next week to talk about All Out in our go-home show for their pay-per-view. We're going to be making our All Out picks next week. And Mimosa Mayhem is going to be the third and final installment of Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. Darby Allin defeated a jobber. I can't remember the guy's name. He was then proceedingly beat up by Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, who was dressed as Darby Allin.
Shout out to Ricky Starks for that I Like Turtles mention.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Very rarely do I get hysterically laughing at home by myself. And I was hysterical when that happened. I couldn't believe you said that.
2 things I like, skateboarding and turtles.
Yep.
Slayed me.
Yeah, right. At All Out, Hikaru Shida says she's going to take on all challengers, and I've seen on Twitter Thunder Rosa. Do me. I'm next. I want to do it. I want in. Then she shows up on TV to challenge Hikaru Shida. So the NWA Women's Champion from NWA Power, Thunder Rosa, will most likely be the next challenger for the AEW Women's Championship at All Out. We'll hopefully get an answer for that on Thursday. We also have what do we got here? I think I got a graphic for this one. Like I said, MJF is campaigning for the paradigm shift to be banned. They are going to be having their contract signing for the main event of All Out for the AEW World Championship. John Moxley and MJF. MJF's did his press conference, and he yelled at the one girl because she wasn't smiling the week before, and he was just yelling and screaming, and she's just sitting there smiling in the background. He did some awkward smiling. That was really funny. Kudos to her, whoever, I can't remember what her name was. And then to go into a match this week. Actually, no. Before we get to that, the women's tournament, the Deadly Draw Women's Championship tournament, was decided. Ivelisse and Diamante. They were the ones motivated. They're the ones after their semifinal match. We need this. We want this. We're hungry. They just were motivated, and they took it to the Nightmare Sisters, John DeCon.
They certainly did, and they finished with that very interesting tandem finish with the Casadora Stunner by Diamante and the Snapmare roll through kick in the grill by Ivelisse. And those two were clearly the most cohesive unit. And except for maybe Tay Conte and her partner, probably the best two wrestlers in the whole thing. And it was proper. It was proper that those two should win. I wasn't sure they were going to because of who was on the other team, but it was the right way to go.
Yeah, John Smith. They didn't book themselves to win. I was gonna try to. I tried hard to set you up. Who's gonna book themselves to win? It was a bad day for the Rhodes family.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Dustin got the win, but I've always been a Dustin fan. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way this turned out, and let's stop seeing them on TV.
So just hopefully, because I don't know if they're officially signed yet, but I would love for Diamante and Ivelisse to get there because those two are due. I know Ivelisse, and I know I don't see them a lot on the Indies, but I know Ivelisse from Lucha Underground. I know Diamante was with Eddie Kingston in the LAX. She still wears the LAX ring gear. So they're due. They deserve this. So good for them. Congratulations. Who do you think they go forward? And also sticking with the women's division, Britt Baker. She recruited Penelope Ford by hook or crook to get her to help her out versus Big Swole. Apparently, I guess she's giving Reba's got to do her makeup free for a year. Plus, Britt Baker's going to give her free dental care for a year. So Penelope Ford pretty much made out with this one. That's a lot of expense less stuff that she has to deal with. But now, apparently, from what I'm seeing, this is a 3-on-1 handicap match against Big Swole. I thought that maybe they'll just save Britt and Swole for All Out, but this is going to be Thursday night. John Smith, who do you got?
I got Big Swole winning this one. I don't think he's going to pin Britt Baker, though, or she's going to pin Britt Baker, though. I see Britt Baker just running away and then leaving them to the Wolves.
Yeah, okay. I like that. I had Swole one of this too, but I think Reba's just going to take it. I think that's Reba's. That's probably why she's in the match, Sean DeConnie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even sure, unless they get the upper hand on Big Swole for a moment. I'm not even sure that Britt Baker will tag herself in. So definitely one of the other two will count the lights.
Yeah, like I said, I hope it's not Penelope Ford. I think she deserves better than that. But yeah, like Britt Baker, her whole thing she was going to be ready for All Out. Like so I don't know if she may not be. She might play the role that she's not medically cleared yet. She can't get in, or something. Exactly. This is going to be chicanery where Swole comes out big, but maybe something jump her after the match, set something up for All Out, a 1-on-1 that we've been waiting for the payoff.
Yeah.
So that should be good. So that was Dynamite. We got one more match for Dynamite. We got Sammy and Matt Hardy in a tables match. I guess Sammy was doing his little sign thing in the picture-in-picture. Matt jumped him during that. I think that's the first time we've seen somebody jump somebody in the picture-in-picture. And then Matt threw Sammy through a table, got revenge right there on that one. Matt was stopped before we could throw a chair at Sammy's head for that revenge. Again, I thought this would be all out, but I guess, I don't know. Does Matt Hardy not work on Saturdays, John Smith?
It could still happen at All Out too. I don't even know what to think about this match. I think it's going to be really good. Coin flip on who wins this, because I think that they do go with this at All Out also. So I'll just go ahead and say Matt Hardy wins because it's a table match, and it's kind of his old school gimmick.
Yeah, it's a table's out of chair part of it. He already got hit with the chair once. I don't think we'll bring a ladder into it just yet. But John the Connie.
Yeah, I
got my thought. Never mind.
Sorry, yeah. I guess if we have a clean match between the two of them, I think Matt winning, extends it the way you would want to see it. But there's also plenty of ways to get the inner circle involved. And maybe we even get some kind of no contest, and that's what rolls it into some other gimmick, or maybe even the same gimmick, but extends it to All Out.
Yeah, you got Hager, Santana, and Ortiz. I don't think they're just gonna let Sammy take this.
Yeah,
I don't. More specifically, Hager. I don't know. No, Jericho's busy doing other stuff, but I don't know. So Ryan Joy just he just sent me a private tweet, private chat. He's got a pretty interesting idea for this for All Out. But we're gonna bring him on from New Japan anyway. So John and John, we will see in a little bit because we have 5 championship matches coming up in New Japan. We're gonna bring Ryan Joy real quick from MinutesToBellTime.com. So hang tight, get your payback and emergence picks ready, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Word up.
Ryan Joy, MinutesToBellTime.com. How is everything going today, pal? Let me get John Smith's name off your face. There we go.
Everything's great. We're going from SummerSlam weekend to Summer Struggle weekend for New Japan. So
New Japan. Before we get into it, you just sent me what's Sammy and Matt? Where are you going with this?
Well, I think this tables match maybe on Thursday might set up Hardy and Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz and Sammy.
There you go. And that was the match that was originally scheduled for Fyter Fest, right? So if you got to roll that out again, why not, right? That makes sense.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna start this off. First things first, the U.S. New Japan Cup hit the nail on the head, pal.
Yeah, Kenta walked away with that victory, and in a somewhat clean fashion, believe it or not. He did go low blow inside cradle for the win, but Finlay kicked out. And a few minutes later, he ended up hitting rear naked choke and then go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Always the go to sleep. That's perfect.
It's awesome to go from the sleeper to the go to sleep for the finish.
Now he's really asleep. He's really asleep now. But you were telling me before, he actually has to defend this championship opportunity before he gets to go after the United States Championship, which right now is held by Jon Moxley. So we're still assuming that Jon Moxley is going to be the one defending the title.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, after the match, Kenta called out Jon Moxley. He says, "Where are you?" So it looks like they're trying to get to that match. That's the one that they want to have. But they did. The commentary team did bring up several times that it's just like the G1 briefcase. Kenta's walking around with a briefcase. Inside, it's a contract for the IWGP United States Championship match. But he's going to have to defend it on the way. And Jeff Cobb attacked him after the match. So Jeff Cobb wants revenge for the low blow inside cradle that eliminated him from the New Japan Cup.
Okay, I was going to say, that's not familiar. They had the match. I remember the brackets. They had the match that Kenta won. So that should be interesting going forward. Do we have any idea when that match isn't booked yet, right?
Not booked yet. And this week This week they don't have any tournaments or anything like that on their Friday show. The main event of the Friday show is going to be Chase Owens versus PJ Black. PJ Black's typically full-time Ring of Honor, but he's doing this tour with them.
Yeah, I had that listed down. Actually, I had it written down as Jay White by accident. I guess I screwed that one up. But thank you for correcting me on that.
Yeah.
We got PJ Black and Chase Owens.
Yep.
So they have a U.S.-based show every Friday night after SmackDown, huh?
Every Friday, 10 p.m. after SmackDown. Yep.
All right, let's start checking that out. But we said we have summer struggle. Where's the time? What's the date? How can we watch? And then we'll get going with the matches and your picks.
Yeah. So first things first, we've got 3 shows between two. We got a Wednesday show, a Thursday show, and a Saturday show.
Okay.
Wednesday and Thursday show both start at 5:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So get your coffee ready. And then if that's not bad enough, your Saturday morning show, the big one, the one that's got all the title matches, that starts at 4. So
yeah,
if you're doing all coverage like I am.
Yeah, I guess that you have to make sure there's an extra scoop of coffee in that filter to get you going. The opening match. Take us through this, because the guy on the left I've never seen before. You told me his name 3 times. I've already forgot it. Yep. I'm calling him Japanese Blue Pants.
Not Leva Bates, but Master Watto on the left just returned from excursion. He's had a couple of matches. He has 1 victory over another member of Suzuki Gun, but he's going to be facing Yoshinobu Kanemaru on Saturday in the opening match.
Yeah, Kanemaru was the guy. I remember him from the New Japan Cup. He's the one that used. He drinks the whiskey. He's the whiskey guy, right?
That's right. Yeah, he brings a bottle of whiskey down. He does Tajiri or Asuka's Green Mist, but it's whiskey.
It's with whiskey. Yeah, that's a great Japanese gimmick for Japan. That's perfect. I'm taking him then. Why not? Right? Who do you got?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go Blue Pants on this, but I think Watto's gonna try to make his way up the card and get in contention for the junior heavyweight title. So.
Just going back to Blue Pants, a good friend of mine told me that was Leva Bates. I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, I always thought like Blue Pants just fell off the face of the planet from NXT. She helped the Vaudevillains win the NXT Tag Team Championship. That was
Take Over Brooklyn, right?
What's that?
Take Over Brooklyn.
Yeah, exactly. It was Blake and Murphy they beat too, right? That was it.
Yep, that's right.
The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Again, we got LIJ going against the Bullet Club here.
Yep, that's right. So Hiromu Takahashi on the left against Taiji Ishimori on the right. I think this go. Ishimori's a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight champ, but I think Takahashi's probably going to walk away with this one. Should be a good match.
I have such a hard time picking between LIJ and the Bullet Club because I'm an LIJ guy and the Bullet Club is just so badass. I love it. I know they're hurting lately with the separations between half in Japan and half stateside.
They're very strong, and they use those underhanded tactics to always get an advantage. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Takahashi on this one. I can't bet against him. I mean, after what happened with him in the NJ Cup. He flipped out. I don't know. I'm gonna stay with LIJ on that one. A match that I'm actually looking forward to. I'm gonna try to watch this on replay. The IWGP, the Never Open Weight Championship. This has hard hits, bruises, slaps, and meanness written all over it. And I say that just anything. Minoru Suzuki is just a mean-looking dude. And the way he looks is how he wrestles.
People look at Minoru Suzuki and get a bloody nose, I think.
Yeah, right.
And I'll tell you what, Shingo Takagi is no wimp either. That's going to be a match. That is going to be a heck of a match. Shingo has had some of the best matches of the pandemic era in terms of New Japan, and he never disappoints. It's always a great match. And then Suzuki has had great matches with Yuji Nagata. That's not something that anybody expected. Yuji Nagata is usually in what people refer to as the dad match. So
yeah,
to pull great matches out of him speaks to Suzuki's abilities.
Yeah, and then said both these guys. I remember I was talking way back when Kenny P, my buddy Kenny P, was on for an episode. We were talking to NJPW. It was the first round of the New Japan Cup. Both these guys were eliminated first round, and that was shocking to him, shocking to me too. Suzuki was a tough out. I had him going far.
But that match was incredible with Nagata. That was way better than anybody thought it would be.
Yep. Who you got in this one?
I'm gonna go Shingo.
Shingo, like I said, it's LIJ, but I can't. How do you ever bet against? Like, I'm not betting. If he finds out I bet against him, I think he's just gonna whoop me. 10 days to Tuesday or whatever the phrase is. So I'm gonna go with Minoru Suzuki. But yeah, LIJ is. I'm not gonna have a problem if LIJ wins this at all. Going forward, the next we have a rematch for the IWGP. I got the letters right. Tag Heavyweight Tag Team Championships from Dominion. It looks like Tai Chi and Zack Sabre Jr. got to defend their titles against the former champs here, Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And if you've been watching any of the their house show types of things, they've been teasing a lot of issues between Ibushi and Tanahashi. Tanahashi's going back to the storyline of, does he still got it? He's getting up there in years. Is he still on the main event level? So, when it comes down to it, I think I've got to pick Sabre and Tai Chi to win this match. And I think maybe spawning from this, maybe we have some sort of issue with Ibushi and Tanahashi.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the New Japan Cup. Was the first time I ever saw Tai Chi, and he beat both Ibushi and Tanahashi in back-to-back rounds.
Yeah.
And then he said he's his tag team partner, and then he got Zack Sabre Jr. with him. They seem like they're on a roll right now. They're tough to bet against. Yeah,
and they are tearing apart Tanahashi's knee. Every match, that's the strategy.
Yes. Oh my God.
On that knee.
Yes, Zack Sabre Jr. He was doing dragging leg screw, but it was like Tanahashi was still standing because he was being held up by
Tai Chi. Yeah.
Oh my God! I thought he was going to break both of his legs.
You're hurt watching it, I'm sure.
Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. needs to go to Raw Underground and whoop everybody there. I mean, he would be phenomenal for that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we have, like you said, we announced a couple of weeks ago, or you announced a couple of weeks ago on our show. We have a new championship being created, the KOBW. As you mentioned, here we have 8 guys here. 4 of these 8 guys won't make it past Wednesday, correct?
That's right. So we have all those stipulation matches. They're going to happen tomorrow morning, including Okada versus Yujiro Takahashi in a 3-on-1 handicap match. So you can watch. If you get up early, you can watch 2 of those on the same within 2 days with Britt Baker also. But
so who's the favorite? I'm going to put the graphic back up here. We have 8 guys. I know Bushi's there. I know Toru Yanu's.
Yeah, I mean,
Toru Yano.
I do too.
I'm looking at his face right now, and I'm just laughing. Like, he's just so much fun.
This is an Okada invention. I think when you look at the field there, he is the obvious favorite, but it doesn't feel like he's going to walk away with it. I think it's one of the 2 guys in the middle, Sho or Sonata. Maybe makes it out. We'll see. Whoever wins that submission match tomorrow morning.
Oh, they got to fight each other. They got the first round match against each other, Sho and Sonata?
Yeah. If you throw that graphic back up, and I'll walk through that.
Oh, they're in order? Okay, yeah, they're in order.
So you've got Kojima is fighting Desperado, and that match is no finishers.
Okay.
So they can't use their finishers to win the match. The next match is Yano versus Bushi, and in that match, a 2-count pinfalls will win the match.
That was Toru Yano. That was his.
Yep. The next match, that's the submission match between Sho and Sonata, and then the final match is a 3-on-1 handicap match with Takahashi facing Okada. So presumably it's going to be Gato, Jado, and Takahashi versus Okada. Those 4 matches are tomorrow morning, and then the winners advance to Saturday, and they face off against each other in a fatal 4-way.
Genius.
He can't bet against it. He could walk away with the thing too. It'd be a perfect championship for him to walk away between now and the end of the year. He'd be great to have a briefcase carrying to the ring every time that he has his DVDs in and stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, the stipulation with this title, it's an annual title, and whoever is the champion after December 31st, they're the champ of the year, and they get whatever the prize that comes with that. Then they start back over in January.
That's right.
And then in the main event, they said this was Simmons' Dominion. We have the rematch for the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships, both held by Becky Two Belts of Japan, Evil. And he's going against Tatsuya Naito in this whole swerve that everything that happened from the New Japan Cup after the Evil won the New Japan Cup into Dominion, where new music. He let his hair down. There's no more sickle. There's no more. We got a new Bullet Club style Evil, and he broke my heart. He broke everybody's heart. So I'm going Naito, even though I don't see it.
Yeah, I'll bet against Lij in this match. I took them in the other two, but I got to go Bullet Club with this one. It just feels like Evil's title reign. It's not time for that to end quite yet. No.
I said probably next up after him would probably be whoever wins the G1 Climax. I mean, I know that's not until Wrestle Kingdom. So like, is he gonna have to defend it until Wrestle Kingdom? That's not that far away. 4 months.
It's good that you brought that up because the G1 starts September 19th, I believe, is the date. So we'll probably talk about that here in one of the future episodes. But that's right around the corner, and the Evil will be wrapped into that. I'm sure he'll be one of the participants, and whoever beats him in the G1 is definitely going to get a title shot between the end of the G1 and Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it's borderline impossible to go undefeated in the G1, but you're wrestling 9 matches.
Yeah, Toru Yano beat Kenny Omega in the 2018 G1, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Last year, Yano beat John Moxley in the G1. So
really? Oh my God, I gotta look up that match. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Toru Yano versus John.
Nothing a little duct tape to the side rails won't get you a count out victory.
Toru Yano is so incredible. All right, and I feel bad. I mean, I'm an idiot. I didn't have the New Japan logo up there this entire time. There we go. I put it up there at the very end. That's a fail on my part. But here's your logo as a little bit of retribution or payback, whatever you want in wrestling terms. We want to call here. Thank you so much for joining us. But sit right there, Ryan. We're gonna bring John and John back in. I think John Smith goes first, and John McConaughey. Boom. There we go. We got it right. Gentlemen, is everybody okay? Do you have? I remember way back when, like the old school. Let's just like WrestleMania 6. They take a 5-minute intermission. And Gorilla Monster says, make sure you go get your groceries. Like, we have time to go grocery shopping for 5 minutes in the middle of WrestleMania 6. Thank you for caring about our health, Gorilla. But, like, oh, my God, I don't think Anyway, so it is that time of the show. This is our main event. We have 2 shows to pick that counts to our pool. We're going to come out swinging with Emergence. But first, I gotta... Night 1 of Emergence was one of the most shocking things I think ever put out in Impact history, where Rohit Raju, John DeConnie, as our senior Impact correspondent, Rohit Raju, he outsmarted all of us.
Most certainly did. And it didn't even look like it was necessarily his plan until his boy Chris Bay was tied to the Tree of Woe, and he came in and saved him. He tossed TJP off of him, and then he just kind of sat there on the top turnbuckle, and it dawned upon him that, I can stomp a hole in this man's chest right now and walk off with some gold. And that's exactly what he did.
It was very similar to seeing Tyler come up with his picks on Saturday. You see, the journal started picking up steam. It's like, okay, I have an idea now. This might work. And John Smith, I'm going to quote Hannibal from the A-Team. You got to love it when a plan comes together, even if it is last minute.
Yeah, that was quite the enjoyable match. I did not see him winning it. I thought it was just going to be chalk. Him helping out what's his face? Chris Bay. Sorry, still getting used to these guys. Yeah. I thought it was just going to be basically a 2-on-1, and then I really enjoyed that ending. You know, I always like to see a little swerve like that.
We never saw it coming. But one thing I don't want to overshoot in this match, as much as this was a Rohit Raju love fest from my end. I want to keep on pumping him up because I don't know how long this title reign's going to last, knowing him. But Ryan, TJP was out of control that match. The double submissions he was putting on both of them, like TJP completely shined to a level where I've never seen someone shine like that.
Oh man, TJP. I mean, he got him wrestling cross promotions. Never has a bad match. Always amazing. He stole a show in a New Japan show 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I just think, maybe that's why they put him in the tag team division with Fala Baz, just so, Fala, just stay there just so it can be a tag team match. Just let him fight the other two at the same time and stretch them every single which way, both at the same. That was incredible. And like I said, I know that I'll keep bringing it up. He is the Cruiserweight Classic champion, the first ever reborn, Cruiserweight champion. In a tournament that apparently was supposed to be Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre at the end, but it ends up being TJP winning the whole thing. So
if people haven't seen that tournament, it's worth your time to go back and watch. Incredible.
Oh, that whole thing was incredible. Yeah, that whole tournament was absolutely great. And there's still a lot of guys around. Fabian Eichner was in that tournament. Cedric was in that tournament.
24/7 champion Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, Akira Tozawa came in that tournament. Now Johnny and Tomasa, they were put in. They had just signed with NXT. And they were the main event of the first round. They put those two together in the first round. They main evented. They were match number 32 of the first round, or 16. I'm sorry. But going forward, it's going to fast forward through the rest of Emergence Night 1. The Motor City Machine Guns defeated the North. They retained the Impact Tag Team Championship. They got that neck breaker splash combo on Ethan Page. Absolutely phenomenal match. The North can't complain anymore, John DeConnie.
No, they've had their time to recover. They were no longer at 40%, so they can't bitch about that. And boy, did we see 100% out of both of these teams. The tandem offense by both of them just fantastic. I mean, I say it all the time, so I am a broken record, but God, I love good tag team wrestling.
That you can say, along with the belt rumors, any other, you just keep on promoting tag team wrestling. I love it, absolutely love it. I feel the same way about women's wrestling. It's the stupidest thing. In another tag team match, the Good Brothers got their first win in Impact. They defeated Ace Austin and Madman Fulton with the Magic Killer. They got Madman Fulton. I think they threw him over the rail, right? Then they hit Ace Austin with the Magic Killer for the win. So they started off strong. Issue in the Wrestle House, John DeConnie, somebody stole the Diener's beer.
He stole our beer.
He stole our beer. It wasn't AC. It wasn't Lawrence D. That's pretty funny. Yeah, a lot of crazy things going on in the Wrestle House, including a nice little fun match between Kylie Ray and Ty Valkyrie with Rosemary as the referee. Kylie Ray got the accidental win here. I don't think she was supposed to win with Ty as the referee.
Yeah, exactly.
So. But then we are going to fast forward. Here we go, night 2. They're going to throw up, and this is just Impact in a nutshell for me. Is this graphic right here? They're going to tell us why EC3 stole the the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, so what happened on night 1 was Moose defeated Trey Miguel in the ring. Boom, great match, by the way. A big guy versus a small guy. It was Trey held his own. A lot of fun. Moose with the win with the lights out spear. EC3 jumps him from behind and takes the title, steals it. Fine. He's been saying he was going to do that since he came back, John DeConnie. Like, why is this? Why do we need a complete graphic when we know the answer of what? You already know the answer.
It was the first words out of his mouth was, I basically need to I need to burn down the memory of TNA and what it meant to me, and that's what this belt represents. And okay, now I have the belt, but why?
Yeah, but why?
Haven't you been listening?
John Smith, are you starting to understand Impact now?
No, and I guess that means I do understand Impact.
Yeah, but it's the same.
Exactly.
I have some
love
interviews.
the
I
thing
just
with
got off the
Impact.
phone with the TNA Championship Committee. And
Yes,
they informed me that that's how the belt is actually defended.
It's just, you can't knock TNA from a wrestling aspect. They have some amazing athletes. Some of the TJP, like we were just shooting off. Their women's division is top notch. Excuse me, their knockouts division is top notch. Their tag team division is better than most. It's a freaking kindergartners writing their stories. So I was just like, ugh.
Careful. I don't want that stuff getting back to my cousin Scotty.
Yeah, your cousin Scott the more. We are also. Here we go. I got to throw up SpongeBob for this one. Apparently, John DeConnie and Scott D'Amore are cousins. We are going to go on 23andMe or whatever that the Ancestry.com. We'll figure it out. John Smith, maybe we can talk. I know John DeConnie is our Impact senior correspondent. We'll start with you on this one because these are two guys you know. This is one guy I know you like. I think the verdict will be out on the other one, but they, I guess they were backstage. I believe it was, who's the guy? Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs was interviewing Willie Mack. Brian Myers took away Jimmy Jacobs to be interviewed, and Jimmy Jacobs had nothing to ask Brian Myers. And then all of a sudden Willie just jumped him, and we got our match for night 2 of Emergence. We got Willie Mack against the artist formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, John Smith, now known as Brian Myers once again. Who do you got?
Yeah, I got Brian Myers winning it. It seems plausible. Like, how is he 0-1 this year? He didn't have a match yet in TNA, right? Or in Impact, right?
He answered the open challenge.
Yeah, he answered the open challenge and lost to world champion.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot that. Sorry. So, yeah, I mean, they're not going to keep having him lose, especially with how much he lost over in WWE. So,
yeah, the one thing about Impact, they will not repeat gimmicks from wrestlers or taken from WWE. By the way, please hashtag Heath for Impact. He needs a job. He's got kids. Ryan Joy, who do you got on this one?
Well, Willie Mack is coming off a 3-match losing streak, and who knows anything more, that's something that Brian Myers is an expert in, is losing streak. I'm going to pick Willie Mack on this.
John DeConnie as our senior Impact correspondent.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Brian Myers to say that, okay, his first match in the company was against the world champion, so it's okay to take the loss there. But unless they literally are going to rewrite history, repeat history, I feel bad for Willie Mack because he doesn't deserve to be on this losing streak, but you got to put Myers over in this situation.
I'm thinking the same thing, and the way they're doing Brian Myers, the way like he seems motivated, his character seems upset. He took a shot at Mr. McMahon on TV, so like he's trying to. I'm going to be real, and he was with the picture, flipping off with the other future endeavors and Tommy Dreamer for whatever. Tommy Dreamer was one of these things, but not like the other in that picture. But Tommy can flip off to WWE, right? I think he's pretty upset with them. I'm going to go with Brian Myers. I think Brian Myers needs us right now. I guess Willie Mack. I guess John DeConnie, you keep on saying about Jurassic Express, they can take a loss and everyone still love them. I think Willie Mack has that same kind of thing. I don't even know how it's not a disease, but
At that mode.
Well, there you go. Everybody loves Willie Mack. I don't want Willie Mack to retire until he fights Kevin Owens. That's on my dream list, bucket list. In our next match, John DeConnie, we are at it again. Take 2 of the Impact Knockouts Championship, the rematch from Slammiversary. This time they're putting them in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And unfortunately, they did not change the gender on the Iron Man match. It's an Iron Knockout match. How about that? We'll keep it that way. Deonna Purrazzo, our current champion. 3-0 in Impact, 3-4 overall. against the former champ Jordan Grace. John DeConnie, your girl. Every time I forget she's there, I forget her music. I hear that siren. I think Scott Steiner's coming out. But apparently she has a connection with Scott Steiner. Have you seen that? I think I saw a video. I think in Impact when she first started, there was some kind of 6-person intergender tag team match, and it was Steiner, Petey Williams, and Jordan Grace. And I don't know if that's where the police siren comes from, or
could be. I mean, I know on her website because I perused it a couple of weeks ago. I think she does have an 8x10 glamour shot that you get signed with her in the chainmail hat, the little hood on herself. So, yeah,
she's from Ryan Joy. Where's she from? She's from Maryland, right?
Originally from Texas, but currently residing in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, so
my neighbor.
She's not from Michigan. Did she go to Michigan? I'm trying to find some connection to Scott Steiner here. Anyway, justify your pick for Jordan.
Well, because points are on the line, I didn't take Jordan. But I went with Purrazzo only because how do you give her the title? I mean, you shouldn't have given her the title walking into the company. But they have that redheaded stepchild kind of mentality that she worked for Vince, so if she comes here, that's instant credibility,
right?
Yeah. So, I would love to see Jordan win. I will thankfully give up the points to see Jordan win. I just don't see it happening.
Wow. Cardinal sin right there, Ryan Joy. Who do you got?
I also picked Deonna. I could see a scenario where Jordan Grace walks away with the title again, but I feel like, first major defense is going to go to Deonna.
Okay, actually, John DeConnie, we'll get back to you with this question too. He said this is an Iron Woman match. We got. What's the over/under on decisions here, Ryan Joy? You're just saying, what's the over/under? What are we looking at? Are we thinking overtime here? They're gonna go to a shootout?
I think 5 decisions.
5 decisions?
That's my guess.
Okay.
And it's a complete guess.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some countouts, some DQs.
Yeah. John Smith, who do you got?
I got Jordan Grace. I got her winning in overtime, maybe, or I just got her winning in general.
Okay, John DeConnie, what do you have? Do you have a score here? What are we thinking?
Yeah, well, I think, doesn't every Iron Man match go to the limit? And then, what are we going to do? 5 more minutes.
Okay. Well, Commissioner Piper said there must be a winner, right? Does that ring a bell? Didn't Gorilla Monsoon enforce that? Commissioner Piper said there must be a winner.
Right.
I got Deonna. I'm not betting against her. I'm not like I am. And then the final match that we have for Emergence Night 2, a show that is too big for just one night. We actually have one person left. Not one person left. Okay, let me rephrase that. Eddie Edwards for an open challenge. He's now the last person left doing open challenges since Cody lost his title. Fun little fact that I looked up. It said, Ryan Joy, you had Cody. Cody had 9 successful defenses or 8?
8, and then he lost one.
8 successful title defenses. And where's Eddie Edwards at right now? 3?
3.
Okay. John Cena had 13 when he was doing the U.S. Open Challenge before he got his nose busted. And then lost to Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. I was going through all the Raws to find the Open Challenge. He fought Ambrose, the guy named Dean. I don't remember the guy named Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, and he fought that other guy, Neville, I believe his name was, fought him. Kevin Owens a couple times, but I think it ended up being 13, and I could be, off here and there on a hair. Some of them were open challenges, and some were just fights or stuff set up by Kevin Owens. He was feuding with Owens during that feud as well. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn both made their WWE main roster debuts. It was the John Cena Open Challenge. Any suggestions? Ryan Joy, we'll start with you. Any suggestions or thoughts or predictions on who this mystery opponent would be? And then who do you got?
I got to think about this for the mystery opponent. I definitely have Eddie Edwards walking away. In terms of who's going to answer the challenge, maybe one of the guys from the North, maybe Josh Alexander, maybe Ethan Page. They're not doing anything anymore.
All right.
And that could be a heck of a match.
What's that?
Heck of a match with either guy, too.
Oh, yeah. North can go. I'm fully convinced of that right now. John Smith, what do you got?
I think Eddie Edwards wins, and I think that that's going to be Eric Young.
Yeah, Eric Young. Is this too obvious, John DeCon? Is that he's that's the feud everyone wants to see now, or can we hold off another month and like over a month and a half?
Yeah, exactly.
October for Bound for Glory for this one.
Yeah, I read a blurb today that this week they're going to be taping all their television prior to Bound for Glory. And I said, oh, okay, I wonder how much television that is. And I looked it up and saw that it was the 24th, all the way at the end of October almost.
Yeah.
That's a long way off. So, yeah, I mean, Eric Young is obviously the most obvious choice, or I think probably the best choice. But I think they're going to want to delay that a little bit. So I'm going to say the person that they can put in there to give it a little boost, a little name recognition. Yes, I'm a mark. But there's also a pre-written storyline to why he won't win because he could have Sami Callihan jump him, is Rob Van Dam. He's sitting around getting paid just to make out with his girlfriend, so why not?
Does anybody have a better life than Rob Van Dam? I mean,
nobody I know of.
Unbelievable. Hey, I got Eddie Edwards retaining too. I have no idea. It's CM Punk. It's got to be him eventually, right? Got to be CM. All right, so we are going to. That'll be it for Emergence Night 2. Just about 85 minutes right now. We're going to go into our payback picks. We only have 4 matches signed right now, so hopefully this will go a little bit quicker. We can be done in our hour 45 minutes. Just a recap of what we did at SummerSlam. Thank God for 25-point championship matches, huh, John DeConnie? Me and you got both Bray Wyatt and Drew McIntyre right. That kind of saved our shows. Ryan lost 10 points for his Money in the Bank cash-in wager. That's the gamble you take, unfortunately. But going into payback, and I believe I forgot to throw up the scoring system for Emergence, but it follows the same format. We got 5 points for the WWE and or Universal title matches, 3 points for all others, 1 point for non-title matches. That goes hand in hand with Emergence. If you get everything correct, it's a 5-point bonus. With Payback, though, interpromotional matches, which none have been signed yet. The Women's Tag Team Championship is technically in a promotion, but they're interpromotional belts, so they don't get the double points. And Otis and Mandy are still trying to figure out what that was that Mandy was doing after her match with Sonya, because that was not a worm, that was not a caterpillar. But the Money in the Bank contract still is in play on the men's side. As we mentioned, we'll go back here. The first match that they promoted when they announced that Payback was going to be a week after SummerSlam was the Women's Tag Team Championship match, and that Bayley and Sasha Banks have to defend those titles after they defended their titles at SummerSlam, their individual titles. As I mentioned, Asuka beat Sasha Banks. Actually beat her twice because she got her again in a Lumberjill match on Raw last night. Against Shayna Baszler, got involved in that, and then Shayna Baszler had a match earlier in the night against Bayley where Nia Jax pulled out Baszler, and they started fighting. Sasha and Bayley started laughing. All of a sudden, Baszler. This is weird to me, John Smith. This just seems weird how Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler became friends over getting laughed at by Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I hope it only lasts for this match. I thought that they were going to lose the titles in this match until I saw that it was going to be these two chicks facing them. I see no reason to put the tag titles on them. It's something Vince would do, unfortunately. But I'd rather them fight each other. Not Sasha and Bayley. Yes, them too, but I'd rather Nia and Shayna Baszler be, fighting each other in Raw Underground, not tag team champions together. And, like the odd couple.
Yeah, I said Ryan Joy going. I said with those titles, like I said, they're interpromotional titles. They can go anywhere with those.
Yeah, I feel like Sasha and Bailey have a lot of range. They can wrestle across NXT. They can wrestle on SmackDown. They can wrestle any two women on Raw. I don't feel the same for Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I do think this weird thing with Nia is allowing Shayna to show a little bit more range in her character, which is interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but Sasha and Bailey in this match, I think.
John the Connie. I don't have it set up for you. Who you got?
I'm pretty much on the same wavelength with the other two gents. That I really thought that Sasha and Bailey would be dropping at this point until I saw who it was against, and as much as I would like to see them lose the belts, I don't think anyone wants to see Nia more often than one show a week. So I think Sasha and Bailey continue to bounce around.
Yeah, we'll give it to Sasha and Bailey too. I'm going to go further and call that. Well, like I said, the reason this got set up, I guess, Nia wants the belts. She asked Shayna to tag with her, and in return, Shayna wants just Nia to just leave her alone. That's the agreement they have. Like, I'll help you. You just leave me alone after this. So I don't think Shayna's heart's into this. I think maybe she'll pull a Bad News Brown and just walk out of the match. Or if Shayna starts caring, maybe they start arguing over who gets the pinfall or the submission victory. They start arguing on who gets the win. Yeah, they're better off as enemies than they are as friends, though, too. I don't like Shayna Baszler with friends unless it's the Horsewomen, unless it's Ronda or Jessamine and Marina.
Is Shayna going to bite somebody?
What's that?
Is Shayna going to bite somebody?
I hope not. I was so upset when she did that. Completely unnecessary for her character. Anyway, so on Monday night, or actually on SummerSlam on the kickoff show, like I said, Apollo Crews successfully defended MVP's United States Championship against MVP. As you know, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. Instead of just putting disdain in my voice with the United States Championship, because it's not the physical belt that bothers me. It's how it was brought in and why Apollo Crews kept this. The whole thing just annoys me. It doesn't work out. So this is MVP's. This isn't the WWE United States Championship. This is MVP's United States Championship.
Buy you one of those for Christmas.
Gotcha. So Apollo Crews will defend Bobby against Bobby Lashley. Will defend MVP's United States Championship. As you can see, the old championship still featured here. Thank you very much, Ryan. That is the correct United States Championship, which is now, I believe, being defended by Apollo Crews' kids in their rec room against each other. But I digress. They had an arm wrestling match on Raw, Ryan Joy, with Mark Henry as the special referee, and they only played it for a little bit, but I love Mark Henry's music.
Mark Henry called it right down the middle, I noticed. Apollo Crews got a clean victory over Bobby Lashley in an arm wrestling contest.
I was looking above the table. I heard a noise. I don't know what happened under the table. I was looking above the table.
Yeah, it was weird. All of a sudden, Bobby started hopping around the ring. But I don't think we're going to see that on Sunday. Bobby Lashley is my pick for this. I think the Hurt Business is getting some gold back.
There you go. John Smith, I think you got a smile on your face, and I believe you're agreeing with him.
Yeah, this whole thing has been leading up to Bobby Lashley getting that title. I think that's been the plan all along now, and it's going to happen this Sunday, and pretty convincingly, I think. I think it's going to be a clean win. I don't think he's going to need any outside interference to get that title.
Yeah, John Stacani, he actually said that before the arm wrestling match. I don't need their help to beat you.
Yeah, I think it'll almost break my heart to see Apollo, not have a belt this quickly. But yeah, I think this has all been leading up to Lashley getting some gold.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I'll go devil's advocate. I'm going to pick Lashley, but devil's advocate here. How huge of a win would this be for Apollo Crews to get a clean win over Bobby Lashley?
Enormous.
I don't see it, but that's
nope.
So at the beginning of Raw, last night, Drew McIntyre came out. He was having fun. He was being happy-go-lucky Drew. That's not the Drew I love. I like an angry Scotsman, but, he's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's having fun with the Thunderdome crowd. Saying that he'll give Randy Orton another shot because they didn't hit their finishers. He out-wrestled them, so that annoyed Randy. Randy took exception to that, apparently. Says, how dare Drew McIntyre take pity on him? So he punts him twice in the head after he jumped him from behind. Then later that night, the ball's on Keith Lee, John Smith. Coming out and interrupting Randy Orton a la Chris Jericho and The Rock.
Yeah, pretty questionable outfit, but I'm very happy that he decided to go for a big dog right away. Not the big dog, but a big dog.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this whole him and Drew McIntyre are good friends came from. I never heard of that before, but they're playing that in the angle right now. But I'm just happy to see him on Raw. I'm happy that he got his time as the NXT champion, and he's now where he belongs.
Yeah, so Keith Lee comes out. Yes, new wardrobe. Yes, new music, which I believe a petition is being sent around right now to get his old music back. But then Keith Lee requested a match. Randy says not right now. It ended up happening later. Whoever the commissioner is or whoever's in charge of Raw made the match for later. Drew McIntyre comes out again, causes a disqualification in Randy Orton's favor, but then he gets punted again. So that's 3 punts. John DeConnie, before we get into the match here in the pick, Drew McIntyre's career's over?
Yeah, well, it would certainly seem so. I mean, that's some serious head trauma. I mean, he had to be taken out in an ambulance. Now, does he show up in his hospital robe to interfere in this match? Could be.
Fractured skull, I believe. Now, Ryan Joy, you kind of, taking over the form here of Dr. Google from over the weekend, taking the reins from John Smith, looking up injuries. How long does the skull fracture rehab? Like, how long does it take time to heal?
You know what? I'm not going to Google this, but I'm going to tell you it's on Sunday. Or Drew. I don't want to take those punt kicks, and neither does Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels or Edge or Christian.
No. So, like I said, as John DeConnie said, Drew McIntyre was taken away in an ambulance. Keith Lee is now out for revenge, and that's what we have right now. We have Keith Lee making his – actually, I shouldn't say that. He'll make his 2020 WWE pay-per-view debut. He's been in the Survivor Series. He's been in the Royal Rumble. But fresh off his NXT Championship loss, he's going right for Randy Orton. John Smith, he's your former guy. He's your former champion from your brand. I'll give you the lead on this one.
I want to say Keith Lee's going to win this match. I don't see how he wins it. Maybe Drew does interfere, and that's the only reason. But I don't know. I think they're gonna push him pretty hard. So, one way or another, I think Keith Lee comes out with his hand raised.
All right, John DeConnie, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I think, or at least I hope the thought is you don't want to stall Keith Lee's, I don't want to say momentum because he did just lose a title match, but I don't think you want him showing up and then immediately losing. So I guess McIntyre somehow gets involved and costs Orton the match.
Now, you don't want to lose the momentum, but losing to Randy Orton, isn't really, well, I guess it is kind of career-ending to be punting the right way, but, there's no shame in losing to Randy Orton here, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, no shame losing to Randy Orton. Man, it's really hard to pick against Randy Orton in a non-title match. But I agree with the Johns. I got to go Keith Lee on this.
You know what? I'll be that guy. I'll go Randy. I think if Randy's going to be in the title picture, if Randy's doing all this damage, like one RKO is not going to derail Keith Lee here. I don't. If McIntyre's got a skull fracture, he's not going to be there, right? He's not going to be medically cleared to get into the building. So I'll go against the grain here. I'll go Randy Orton. That's my guy. I got his hoodie on my wall. I'm a fan. And I bet against him on Saturday, so why not? And we're going to end the show with how we started. We started with the big dog came home, wreck everything, and leave. This Friday on SmackDown, there will be a contract signing for a triple threat, no-holds-barred match, which is a little redundant because there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match anyway, but I digress. The Fiend has to put the Universal Championship on the line right away, his newly won Universal Championship on the line right away, against former champion Braun Strowman, who will probably not attempt to cut the ring again. That backfires. And the newly returning Roman Reigns, who is undefeated in the year 2020. Ryan Joy, we'll let you off. Lead you off first. Before we do, like I said, just to recap SummerSlam because we didn't get to it. That Braun Strowman tried to cut the ring up and expose the wood planks that are under it. Two Sister Abigails later, Dunzo, and then the
Strowman to get on the phone with Gargano and Ciampa.
Yes,
he was pretty slow about cutting that ring up. If he got that a little faster, maybe he would have gotten some offense in on the Fiend. But yeah, few Sister Abigails, and he had no momentum to kick out.
Nope, none at all. And then Roman got in there right away. It's the two guys that he can't stand in the world. Those two guys and Brock Lesnar. Those are the three. Ryan Joy, who do you got in this one?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that Roman Reigns is undefeated because I wanted to tell you the three people that he's beaten. It's Baron Corbin twice and Robert Roode once. And I think this weekend makes number 4 as he probably pins Braun Strowman on his way to his Universal Championship reign.
Wow. Okay. John DeConnie, we got a new champ here? What are we doing?
You know, I because this is Bray Wyatt's career, there's no way you take the belt off a guy who just won it. But because this is the outcome that would aggravate me the most, I think Roman Reigns takes it here, unfortunately.
That's 2 for Roman Reigns. All right, John Smith, are we doing Roman Reigns here? Like, is this payback, from it shouldn't be payback from Goldberg, but is this just him I was supposed to get it at WrestleMania, so here we go.
No, I don't see Roman Reigns winning this, actually. I think Bray Wyatt's keeping his title, and I think the reason that Roman Reigns doesn't win is because somebody's going to interfere with him specifically, and it's going to, turn off into his first feud coming back.
This is interesting. Any predictions on who that'll be or no? Because enough of him and Baron Corbin. I think, Ryan, I forgot about that, but now that I'm remembering it, all right, enough is enough. Although, thank you for the dog food.
Yeah, no, I don't have any guesses. I don't have any guesses on who it could be, but maybe it's Retribution. Maybe Retribution beats him out of the building or something, and then it just comes back down to Braun and Bray.
Interesting. I like that theory. I'm pulling a Tyler right now. I heard that. I like that a lot better than just Roman winning. And I was thinking Roman too. So now, I think Roman's going to win, but I might change my mind to Bray Wyatt. So it's probably going to be Braun Strowman who wins this. So, yeah, I'm going to go Bray Wyatt. I got my Firefly Funhouse shirt on for a reason. I'm not going to bet against them. But it's not going to shock me at all if Roman walks away as champion. I don't think he's going to be decided. If he doesn't win, I don't think he's getting pinned. I think Braun Strowman maybe takes the mandible claw this time in defeat instead of 2 Sister Abigails. Unless, like I said, they have leeway to go absolutely everywhere in the building. There's no holds barred, which is, as I said, redundant. But, yeah, those are the 4 matches we have signed for Payback this Sunday. I believe, Ryan, is at the Thunderdome again?
I assume so. I don't know.
Everything's going to be at the Thunderdome for a long time.
Okay, they're going to stay there for a while?
They have the Amway Center or whatever for 2 months or something like that.
All right, cool. All right, so just going to pay a couple bills real quick before we get going. I just wanted to let you guys know that the interview series on this network, on the Eastern Observer and the Blackjack Media Networks, is back, and it's under a new name. the Primetime Rundown interview series powered by StreamYard. Joey Jarzanka will be welcoming his 34th guest on Thursday, September 3rd at 8 p.m. Again, you can watch it on all of the streaming services you watch this show on Facebook, on YouTube, on the I-95 Sports Network page, and everything else. He'll be welcoming the voice of Madden NFL 2021 and play-by-play broadcaster for Fox Sports and Westwood One, Brian Gowden. For more information, go to theeasternobserver.com or to check out his Twitter page at Eastern Observe. And we will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel, 6 p.m. Again on Facebook, on the I-95 Sports, all the listings I just mentioned for the interview series powered by StreamYard. Special thanks for Ryan Joy coming out here today. Again, please go and subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade. And I believe a congratulations is in order. 2,500 subscribers to the Body Slam Brigade. Ryan Joy.
It's killer. I set a lofty goal that no one can never get. And by God. So please, yes, join the 2,500 other people and subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade. And follow me on Facebook, where you'll find out the result of the Marco Stunt and Jake Hager match that's happening tonight on Dark.
Yes, Darlene is fighting Jake Hager tonight. We got times on that one? It's got to be under 2 minutes, right? Like that's.
Oh yeah, I don't think it'll take Marco much longer than that to get a win over Jake. No.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to stomp out Jake Hager.
Yeah.
So Ryan Joy, congratulations! Join up and go to minutestobelltime.com and subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade. And I have to tell you guys, and I talked to you about it, and I am going to do it. Next week is September 1st. It's going to be episode X7 of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. And for those that don't count on their calendar, next week is 30 weeks till WrestleMania. So for the next 30 weeks, 1 week at a time, I will be rattling off my top 30 favorite WrestleMania matches. Not the best WrestleMania matches, my personal favorites, where you can chime in, you can make fun of me, you can call me all the names in the book for liking matches. Some of them are a little questionable. I'll give you that right now. Some of them are actually true classics that I don't think anybody will complain about. So that'll be starting next week at the end of each show. Next week we're gonna start off fresh. We're gonna start off with number 30, my all-time WrestleMania favorites list. For Ryan Joy at minutestobelltime.com, for John Smith and King Kong Bundy in the bottom corner of the screen, for our first ever PWB champion, the living legend John DeConnie, along with Bam Bam, I Spy the Jersey Guy. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please like us. Please subscribe to us. minutestobelltime.com, prowrestlingpick'em.com. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Do you believe in miracles? Down the Connie, take it home.
Thanks for joining us, and as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
I like turtles.
Unbelievable.